Head coach Bucky McMillan joins us. Bucky, start us off with some thoughts from you after this one.
Oh, they're a good team. They're talented. They're good. We didn't play with enough aggressiveness on offense. We played a little too passive to start the game, and it results in too many turnovers. The game was lost in that segment there. You know, we're just digging ourselves a hole. We came back. I think we cut it down to 4. Was that right?
Yeah, 61-57.
And then they made some big plays.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, you got a lottery pick on their team that made some big plays late. We had it right there, missed a couple free throws. And other than that, I was proud of the fight the second half. They're a hard team to beat here. Not many people get them.
Nope.
Got to put two halves together right there. You just can't have as many turnovers we did to start the game. But all in all, they probably wouldn't have lost a lot of teams tonight in here.
Right.
The way that their key players play down the stretch.
Well, you started the game when they overplay and they get in the pass and like that. It really kind of cut them up a little bit. I mean, got the back door, got the pass, a lot of assists. But defensively, their length and their ability to get up there and force the issue, we got adjusted to it in the second half, but didn't handle it well just to start.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good team with a lot of good players, and they're well coached. They know what they're doing. So we knew that it'd take a good game from us, and you can't help them out. You can't help them be good. You can't help them with turnovers. You know?
Free throw, going to the free throw line as much as they did.
Yeah, you can't. You know, and they're getting in there, and we're a little undersized, so some of that I get it. But you know, we played good enough defense the first half to win, and good enough offense the second half to win.
We got to put those together.
You know, that's how it was. I mean, we ended up shooting 53% from the field from the game and 32% from three. But if you look at this, we had 16 turnovers. They had 9, and then offensive rebounds. They doubled us up there. So you just get too many shots at the basket.
And you talked about paint being important as well. Those paint points and their fast break points, they're so good. They sometimes go hand in hand with those turnovers and the fast breaks as well.
Well, we looked at it in the first half at one point, you know, and they had not scored a lot of points against our set D. It was mainly off our turnovers.
Right.
And that's where we helped them. We just gave them too many. Now we got back in the game right there playing aggressive. And then today, a little late, they won their matchup there.
Yeah.
You know, Darius, he was a good player in those moments, and next game maybe we win that matchup, right? And that's kind of what it comes down to sometimes late in those games is that he went off and made the last 12 baskets.
Yeah.
And and I'm going to say some of those we play good defense.
Yes.
Sometimes they're taking shots we wanted them to.
Well, you said that all the time. Hey, it's going to be individual matchups. When he stepped back and made that 3 late shot clock, hey, pat him on the back. I mean, you make that kind of play, hey, more power to you.
That's exactly right. You know, but I really was. I was proud of the fight. And
well, that battle, when the crowd was in it, you're still pressing. You're going to always do that. You even ratcheted it up a notch and got right back in that thing. But they're just explosive as they are. It's a hard thing to contend with in this building.
Well, they're a potential Final Four team, that's for sure. You know, at a neutral site or at our place, it may be a different outcome there, right? I mean, you know, we'll have that opportunity hopefully in Nashville,
right,
or in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
But what we can't do, we can't let this game affect the next game.
Right.
You know, it's hard to get wins on the road, and I've been pleased with what we've done on the road. I have in SEC play, but you got to protect home court.
Yep.
And we got 2 really big games coming up here at home. We got to learn from the things we could have done better here, and carry it over to the next game.
Talk to me about Zach Clemens. He's not the same player who started this year, Bucky. Not even close.
He was great, and he played fearless, and he was aggressive, and, I mean, he was athletic. He's powerful. He's a matchup nightmare right now for the teams because he can shoot it, he can drive it, he can post up.
Yeah.
So
makes free throws.
So he's playing really good. I mean, he certainly looked like he belonged out there. That more than belonged in that game.
Yeah. And you need it, and that was part. He and Deba, Kari gave you a good second half, but those guys back to that fearlessness. And when you got it to 4, they seemed to be involved in all of it.
They did.
For you.
They did. We got right back there. You know, the stats are not too one-sided. If you look at it, they made 33 shots. We made 30. We had 18 assists. They had 18 assists. But the difference was we had 16 turnovers to their 9. Right? And that's we can't do that. And then they they made more free throws, and they had more offensive rebounds. So
you
they
think
just
about
had more
this,
opportunity.
we had 14 turnovers, I think, at halftime, and only had 3 in the second half. But like you said, we could have matched our defense in the first half, the offense in the second half. It's one of those kind of deals.
Yeah. Well, it's not too many teams. I don't think any SEC team. Is any SEC team won in here this year? I don't know. But
Kentucky's the only one.
Kentucky got one.
Yeah.
That's right. I watched that game. That's right.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yep.
But I was proud of our guys. They're never gonna stop fighting, and we're never gonna stop coaching. We're gonna call timeouts all the way to the end and play this thing out. I mean, we're trying to get under single digits, and anything can happen in those spots.
Yep.
But
pretty big one Saturday. Pretty big one next Tuesday.
Yep.
Both at Reed Arena.
Both at Reed. We got to have everybody there. I mean, we know what time of year this is, and all these games matter a great deal. We know that, and we got to play good basketball, and particularly got to do our job at home.
Absolutely. Bucky, as always, thank you so much for joining us. You bet. Bucky McMillan.